أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله حي على الصلاة حي على الصلاة حي على الفلاح حي على الفلاح الله أكبر الله أكبر لا إله إلا الله إن الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستهديه ونستجيره من النار ونتوب إليه من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا من يهده الله فهو المهتدي ومن يضلل فلن تجد له وليا مرشدا وأصلي وأسلم على أشرف الخلق محمد بن عبد الله وعلى آله وأصحابه والتابعين لهم بإحسان إلى يوم الدين. إخوة الإيمان، أوصيكم ونفسي بتقوى الله عز وجل، فإن تقواه سبحانه وتعالى من وصيته لنا وكذلك للأمم السابقة. قال تعالى: ولقد وصينا الذين أوتوا الكتاب من قبلكم وإياكم أن اتقوا الله فاتقوه ما استطعتم واتقوه تفلحوا. إخوة الإيمان، الله سبحانه وتعالى من علينا بنعم لا تعد ولا تحصى، ومن هذه النعم التي منحنا الله سبحانه وتعالى هي الصحة. والصحة كما ذكر الرسول صلى الله عليه وسلم من نعمة أو من نعمتين من نعم الله سبحانه وتعالى. قال الرسول صلى الله عليه وسلم في حديث صحيح: نعمتان مغبون فيهما كثير من الناس، الصحة والفراغ. فالإنسان يطلب رزقه ويتعلم ويصلي ويزكي ويحج ويعتمر ويدرس ويكتب، وكل ما يفعله في حياته مركب على الصحة. فنسأل الله الصحة والسلامة والعافية. Brothers and sisters in Islam, we say many thanks and praise to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala always for bringing us into Islam, for making us Muslims. Always. Always. Now in education they have something they call rote learning. Rote learning is when you say something like a mantra, you say it all the time, all the time, all the time. Before educationists, psychologists, they used to think it's primitive that you're saying something all the time, it's primitive. But when you say it all the time now, they have accepted. أجمعوا على أن هذا فيه فوائد. They have admitted that he has benefit, it's beneficial for the brain and the well-being. So the reason why most of you observe anytime I stand here in other khutbah, in other masjids, I always say, Alhamdulillah, we say many thanks and praise to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, alladhi hadani lihada, who has guided us, who has guided us into the deen. And always, we should say Alhamdulillah for that. Now it becomes a mantra to some people. Why is it all the time? Because sometimes when we have something good, we don't need other people to tell us it's good. And that's why even the psychologists, even the people who are educated, they said when you do something that's good, you need to tap yourself on the back and say, I have done this. It's not because you want to brag, it's because you want to appreciate. It's self-esteem, self-confidence. But if we as Muslims, we don't appreciate our deen, then we start looking somewhere else. But when it comes to deen, I'm telling you, my brothers and my sisters in deen, I don't go look somewhere else. Because anytime I read the deen, I find out that I need to know even more, even better. Today I was reading before coming to this khutbah, and I saw a hadith, and I said, oh, I'm not saying the hadith now, it's not related to this khutbah, okay? But I said to myself, I need to go and dig and delve into this even better, even more. And that's what this Islam is about. It's not shallow, it's not surface knowledge, it's deep understanding. And that's why we respect our imams, we respect our scholars. So anytime you see any of us standing here, or even in Ramadan, even all the sheikhs that you know, Sheikh Shuaib, Sheikh Abdul Salam, anytime they want to come and pray, they revise. They take time to go over all the surahs, all the ayahs, all the things that they want to say, so that they say it correctly. And I remember when Pastor back home, when we were doing they call it multi-faith meeting. He said he admires the Muslims, imams, more. So because the time they spend preparing the khutbah is longer than the time they spend. But they get more money than the imams. Subhanallah. So may Allah make it easy for us. So our khutbah today is about, we say, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala manna alayna. He has given us many favors. Min ni'amin kathira, many favors. Wa minha, and amongst Allah's favors upon us, given to us, granted to us, free of charge, without paying a dime, without paying anything, free, is as-siha, health and well-being. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala manna alayna bis-siha. He has given us well-being and health. Now we said, al-insan, human beings, yaktub. Al-insan yaktub. Human being, a person can write. ويدرس, and they study. ويعمل, and they work. ويحج, they go to Hajj. ويعتمر, and they do Umrah. وكل هذه الأمور, all this that he does, all these activities of his or hers, مبني is based upon الصحة, on health, good health, well-being. Now, when you don't have that, then you are given another name. Then you're sick, you're ill, you are, I don't like to use the terminologies they use in mental health, but you are something else. And in Arabic they have a big terminology, they say naqisul idrak. That's it. Your understanding, your perception, your conception of things is limited or is compromised. That does not mean that you're not well in other aspects. Now the reason why I say this today is I went last week to a naming ceremony. And because of anonymity and professionalism, I don't have to say where, but I have to say I was touched by this family that have a very severely disabled child. But what shocks me is the level of iman, درجة الإيمان في هذه الأسرة, and especially the woman. The iman that she has, the faith and the sabr, the patience that she exhibited, being with the child 24/7, severely disabled, handsome boy. And I look at the child and I think of my own childhood. I look at this child, I think of my own children. I look at this child, I see azamatullah, I see the power, I see the mighty or the might of Allah. That He makes the eye can speak and you can hear, and this child cannot speak. And I can walk straight and this child cannot walk straight. And my organs are working well for the past number of years since I was born. And this child has some of his organs compromised. And we and all of us here can spit. We want to spit, we spat out. But this child cannot do it. And I said, subhanallah, I never thought in a million years that I would be invited. That does not mean I haven't seen disabled children before. But I never thought when they said to me, come and do aqiqah. This is not the child I was naming, was not the child I was suffering from this. His brother. And so sometimes when you humbly accept some of this invitation, Taqbal hazi da'wah, you accept this invitation. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, yasuquka, is driving you for you to learn lessons. لِتَتَعَلَّمْ أُمُورًا لِتَتَعَلَّمْ دُرُوسًا, that you learn lessons. لِأُولِي الْأَلْبَابِ, for those people who have understanding. I came out of that aqiqah with a level of shukr, a level of thanksgiving to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. وَتَبَارَكَ اللَّهُ أَحْسَنُ الْخَالِقِينَ. Now Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has made me and all of you here in the best shape and in the best form. And I say this on purpose. Most of you men, when you are afflicted with those kind of children, you run away. Most of you men, when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tries you with such children, you blame your wives. And most of you men, when Allah tries your family with such children, you detest the children. You hate them. You don't want to be identified with them. You feel a sense of shame and stigma. I have seen a couple of them. There was a time I went in Newham. This was an African family as well. And they were living on the 8th floor of the building. And I said to the lady, where's your husband? She said, my husband left when my child was born, when he discovered that the child was disabled. And since then, the woman nor the children have not set their eyes on their dad. So the woman is bearing the brunt of raising all the children by herself. And she says to me, I can't rest because this building is high. If they don't go to sleep, I don't sleep. And because of those children, she developed high blood pressure, stress, insomnia, lack of sleep, that's what it means. You think when you go to marry your wife, when they say, the imam says, say after me, do you think it's a matter of joke? If you are not ready to be committed, don't go in. Going around the world, populating the earth, and don't want to take responsibilities. And they're very same you guys saying Allah says you should marry 2 women, 3 women, 4 women. But the ones that you have now, you cannot even take care of them. The children that you have now, you are absent in their lives. You don't know the school they go to, you don't know the interviews they go to, you don't take them out to activities. You know nothing about them. And you're sitting here bragging and building 2 houses, 4 houses, 6 houses. What about your children? They cannot say a word that you told them. They don't know you. And you don't know them. And Allah says in the Quran to the kuffar, when the kuffar in Mecca, He says, يَعْرِفُونَ أَبْنَاءَهُمْ. They know their children very well. يَعْرِفُونَهُمْ كَمَا يَعْرِفُونَ أَبْنَاءَهُمْ. You don't know them. And the Rasul al-Uswa, best of examples. كَانَ لَكُمْ فِي رَسُولِ اللَّهِ أُسْوَةٌ حَسَنَةٌ. You have indeed in the example of the Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam, or in the life of the Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam, or in the lifestyle of the Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam, or in the biography of the Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam, أُسْوَةٌ حَسَنَةٌ, the best of examples. But for 2 reasons. لمن كان يرجو الله, for those who expect, who believe in Allah, who look forward to meeting Allah and the last day. So you need to reflect, my brothers. You need to go back. The women have no guilt in this. You made them and the children victims of your indecisiveness, of your selfishness. And I look at this woman. She's checking on the child. Are you okay? Do you need a drink? Do you think she doesn't have aims and dreams and hopes and aspirations? هل تظن أن ليست هي أهداف? Do you think she doesn't have goals in her life? Do you think our mothers who gave birth to us, they wanted to stay where they were? But they made the best of sacrifice. Some of us can stand here today. We can come to England. We can speak English. Can speak Arabic. Because our mother said no. They wanted to change the status quo. They said no. Because our dads were busy looking for money, flying in the air. But our mother said no. My children have to be different. And I can relate that to myself. When my mom denied my uncles. She got me she got us private teachers. And my uncles were saying, no, you don't need them. He said, well, you're not paying for them. And my dad was abroad traveling, making money. My dad used to come to France every week. That's how loaded he was. And sometimes UTA will give him free ticket to come. United Travel Agencies back then in Sierra Leone. My dad would take a briefcase. The next time he will phone you, he will say, I am in Paris. But my mother said, no, these children have to be educated. She used to buy books that we cannot even read. This is investment. This man is investment. Sheikh Shuaib is investment. Sheikh Abdul Salam is investment. Sheikh Yusuf, he took his dad's money and paid for himself to go and study in Sudan. Now you see Sheikh Yusuf, you're happy. Sheikh Yusuf, he suffered. And all the other sheikhs that you're saying, they are investment. It's not cheap. You know, I am confident, I am eloquent. I used to go to the library every single week. Up to now I read. I'm not that educated, but I still want to learn more. Because of my mom. My dad, it was tough, it was too tough. Because when we went to madrasa, even if you finish 1 hour, you have to stay there 2 hours. So they are 2 different people. But what we're saying is we're leaving the women to bear the brunt of the suffering of the children. us men are responsible. And I'm telling you because I'm a man, so you don't feel that I'm talking you down. I want to encourage you to come back to the lives of your children, whether they're disabled or not, whether they are healthy or not. You have to be there. We are aware that some brothers need to go back to work. Inshallah, we'll make the khutbah very short so that we finish on time, inshallah. Wherever we have gone above, we ask for forgiveness. Sometimes when you're standing here, so many things come into your brain and you want to give the best that you can. So whenever the imams go beyond the time, please make room for them and please forgive them for that. And I am one of them. And so we're going to finish the khutbah by saying, the Rasul Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam says, Ni'matani, 2 favors, maghbunun fihima, that many people take for granted. As-siha, health, wal farag, and having time. Now I said we were given health for free, because nobody paid for it. But the Rasul Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam said in another hadith, says, Irtanim khamsan qabla khamsin. When you speak to the Americans, especially the Americans, they like to always talk about opportunity. Americans, they like opportunities. The word opportunity, they like it too much. Just listen to this. This is the Rasul Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam says, 1410 years ago, 1441 years ago. Say, make use, seize the opportunity of 5 things before 5 things. So we are 1,441 years ahead of the Americans and the other people who think they are civilized. Opportunity. The Rasul says, seize this opportunity, 5 opportunities before 5 other things happen to you. And one of them is when you are healthy, before you become ill. Akhi, when you look at people who are ill today, you should praise Allah. And none of us are safe. Some people think, you're not safe. You are not safe. The more you age, what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has destined for you, my brothers, when it comes to you, subhanallah, even the Sahaba, some of them were ill before they died. The Tabi'is, they were ill before they died. The Tabi'in. And one of the illness that will keep you in your physical shape is when you start to forget. We call it forgetting. When you're dementing, you start to forget things. That can happen to anyone. And so, we want to pray today for all our mothers who are carers of people who are ill. May Allah give them strength and courage. See, these mothers and these wives, they were true to their words. They never left their husbands because they are ill. But if you marry the woman that is for dunya, you know what we say in Creole, right? Money done, baby lay. Yes. When you're wealthy, she's there doing all the pampering. But when the money finishes, she leaves. That's not a woman for the dunya. That's not a woman for the akhirah. That's a woman for the dunya. That's why the Rasul Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam says, "Fadfar bidhati din," marry the woman with deen, because she will see in you the azamatullah. She will see in you the greatness of Allah. She will see in you the beauty of Allah. Yes, we were ahead, we Muslims, but now we are backward. And some of us, we don't have a single bit, a single tiny of rahmah in our heart. Immediately situation changes, we will behave as if we're never there, as if it doesn't concern us. But then we are these very people who will come to the masjid and will be the first person to come to the masjid and maybe the last person to leave the masjid. But we don't have a single bit of rahmah in our heart. SubhanAllah, where did the rahmah go? Where is the mercy? Where is the mercy? And we look at elderly people just like the philosophy of those other people. We don't care about them because they are elderly, because they are weak, they are frail. That's not Islam. Islam look at the young with aspiration. Because these are the women and the men of tomorrow. So we are kind to them. We show mercy to them. We lower ourselves when we're speaking to them. We establish eye contact with them. If they are this tall, when we want to speak to them, we kneel down so we establish direct eye contact. This is from the hadith of the Rasulullah. The Rasulullah and the Sahaba, they used to make their children ride on their backs like horses. But they were the after Qur'an, the best of generations. How many of your children ride your backs? And when they speak to their women, they're like their princesses and queens. And we all know the story of Umar, when this man came and he wanted to report his wife to Sayyidina Umar. And Sayyidina Umar's wife was talking, was nagging, if you want to use the word, which I don't want to use. But Sayyidina Umar was just sitting listening. And this man was about to go. I said, no, man, said, come. What did you come for? He said, no, I had my own problems, but your problems are greater than mine. He said, no. I said, she's my wife. She cooks for me. She washes my clothes. She does everything. If she's not happy, let her talk. Let her talk. Because talking does not do anything. So Sayyidina Umar was letting his wife to let out her anger and her upset. Because he is busy with the ummah. So she has frustrations, right? So you allow her to anger those frustrations. It doesn't mean she's belittling you, but she needs to take care, let her take care. And some of you must say, no, me and the man, we are talking for 6 months. Who told you that? And I know some of you, when you go now, you're going to say, oh, Sheikh, remember the poor case. Because I went to somebody's case, somebody called me to speak between him and his wife, and then I told him you were wrong, and then he said, I destroyed this case. I destroy your case, so I'm going to destroy myself. I'm going to tell you the truth, my brother. You like me, you don't want to, you don't like me. That's your problem. But I'm not going to stand in front of Allah for your sins. Let me stand in front of Allah for my sins. Okay? So if you want to call me when there's a problem between you and your wife, don't call me. I'm happy because by then I will not answer that I was called, I didn't go. But if I go and you're wrong, I'll tell you in your face that you're wrong. Our women are no slaves. Let them air their upset. So may Allah make us remember. We haven't spoken about time, we've just spoken about siha. May Allah grant us good siha. And those who siha, those whose health has been taken away from them, for a time, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give them the iman. And those who are carers looking after those disabled children, those ill people, those who are working in the healthcare profession, who take care of other people, the nurses, the doctors, the mental health officials, and all of us who do one or two things. For those people, may Allah make it easy for them. And may Allah give them siha. May Allah give them afiyah. May Allah protect all of us. May Allah make us die in the day. And may Allah protect our children. And may Allah protect them in their universities, in their colleges, in their secondary schools, in their primary schools, in their nurseries, in their reception. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless us and bless our businesses. ربنا ظلمنا أنفسنا ولم تغفر لنا وترحمنا لنكونن من الخاسرين. أقم الصلاة فإن الصلاة كانت على المؤمنين كتابا موقوتا.